Next up, we have arts, culture, and events. And as a reminder for folks, the expo is happening next door if you want to engage directly with any of these organizations. This event will be recorded and posted online so you can share it with others at a later date. And if you're looking to get involved, head next door and have a conversation with any of these organizations that are of interest. And we also have a handout that includes all of the contact information. So, next up, we have Brian Hurlbut with the Arts Council of Big Sky, a nonprofit that is governed by a board of 17 directors. Created in 1988, the Arts Council of Big Sky is one of the oldest nonprofits in the community. Since then, the organization has grown to become a leader in providing accessible arts programming for all sectors of the community, including events, educational experiences, and public art. And with that, I will turn it over to Brian.
Thanks, Danny. So we have, I think that's the, is there, okay, let's start with this one. So the Arts Council has 3 main areas, and we are expanding in all of these areas. And the areas are events, education and outreach, and public art. I'm going to go over a couple of highlights here. For events, we have a lot of things that we're excited about coming down the pipeline. We're collaborating with Independent, which is a new venue in Big Sky. It's the renovated movie theater, on music and film events starting in January 2022. We are moving our home to the base, which will give us space for new programs like literary events, artist receptions, and more workshops. We're going to continue to partner with WAMPAC on certain programs throughout the year. And as always, we are continually working to improve every event that we present. And as far as education and outreach goes, the Arts Council, as many of you know, are moving into the base, opening up in spring of 2022. It's going to have a dedicated arts classroom, classes for kids and adults, a full pottery studio, including wheels and a kiln. We're hoping to expand offerings to add more literary programs, like writing workshops and author readings. And we're going to continue to collaborate with other nonprofit partners like the School District, Discovery Academy, BSCO, local community foundations on future programming. And then we have our public art program, which is probably our biggest program right now. We just installed an exciting kinetic sculpture in the Town Center Roundabout, which many of you have probably seen. We're installing another modern piece called Lightning at the base in the spring. We're working with the Robin family on a memorial bench for Mark in the Fire Pit Park. We're planning more utility box wraps in 2022, and we now have 10 sculptures that are under our ownership or management. And our long-term vision is a public art trail from the community park all the way to Uso Falls. Community growth is another focus of the Arts Council, how we are investing in the community as it grows. Just a couple things to point out. Since 2018, we've invested nearly $1 million in our public art program, and 97% of that has come from private funds. We're investing in community programming at the base. We're hiring 1 full-time instructor to manage the arts classroom and teach the majority of the classes and workshops. We invested funds into the Len Hill Park renovations for Music in the Mountains, and we're going to invest more next summer. And we're actively working with both public and private sectors to promote the arts and make our community a cultural destination. Then the last thing that we're focused on is the community impact throughout Big Sky, and that is how we can deepen the impact of the arts in Big Sky. A current focus of ours is behavioral health, and some examples are the base programs that we're currently working on are designed to be safe, healthy spaces for kids and adults. We're making a special effort to reach people like seasonal workers and offer programs that provide a healthy alternative to going to bars or parties. We're partnering with the BSCO to provide affordable after-school programming at the base. And we're exploring how we can incorporate art therapy programs into future programming as well. And another area is livability. We believe that a vibrant arts and culture scene creates enriching connections between people and makes our community a better place to live. And research shows that engaging in arts activities can reduce the mental and physical impact of other health problems. So it's important to the Arts Council that these types of programs are available in our community. And then finally, equity. The ACBS believes in arts for all. We want everybody to have access to the arts, and we strive to remove all barriers to participation. And finally, our goal is to create a welcoming atmosphere for all people who travel here, specifically by using art to characterize Big Sky as a place for everyone. So that's kind of an update for the Arts Council. We have a couple of our staff members next door if you want to chat about what we have going on. Thanks.
Brian, and thank you for all you do to make Big Sky better together through the Arts Council. Next up, we have Inian Williams with Outlaw Events, a private organization established in 2010. Outlaw Partners and Outlaw Events is the premier event producer in Big Sky with signature events like the 8-time PBR Event of the Year, Big Sky Rodeo, Big Sky Art Auction, TEDx Big Sky Winter Carnival, Peak to Sky Concert, and Wildlands Festival. With that, I will turn it over to Inian.
Thank you again, Danny. And I think the only thing more fun than riding the bus is going to PBR, right? So thank you for having us up here for our events that we hold. In the summer, we call it Big Sky's Biggest Week. And this past year was our 10-year anniversary of PBR in Big Sky. And so we added a few more events this year. We start the week off with the art auction and the Big Sky Rodeo that goes on. That's a great rodeo event that is different than PBR. We added in this past year the Dick Allgood Community Bingo Night. That was a huge success and raised money for the Discovery Academy and Morningstar Learning Center. And we are looking forward to bringing that again in 2022. We also had the Big Sky Community Day that was anchored by our mutton busting event, and that was very successful, and where you can bring your kids out and have a fun kid day in Big Sky. And we had a fun summer street dance as well. So a fun week of events topped off by the Big Sky PBR as it's a 3-day event. And I think if you haven't been to that, then you haven't lived in Big Sky for very long. So we look forward to having that again next year. This upcoming winter season, we are very excited for events this winter. We are bringing back our Big Sky Ideas Fest. We are going to be at the Independent for a couple of nights of having the Big Sky Ideas Fest with a discussion, a roundtable discussion and a musician series. And then we are bringing in, with the demand of TEDx, that we are doing it for 2 nights this year. We are going to have 6 speakers and a musician each night. And so we're looking forward to that as well. You can come over to our station and see our lineup that we have for that. And then a collaboration that we're doing with the Big Sky Chamber is what's going to be the Winter Carnival or the Winter Festival that we're looking forward to. The anchored event is going to be the Big Sky Ski Joring, which we missed last year, but we're bringing back this year. We're looking at having a cross-country ski race, the Viking cross-country ski race, a ice sculpture garden out here in the Plaza of the Wilson Hotel, a retro movie night at the Independent, and hopefully snow bar and a winter street dance concert going on for this winter. So with all of that, that will be the biggest week of winter events in Big Sky for the upcoming winter season. So as Danny mentioned, this year we were voted yet again the 8-time PBR Event of the Year. That is quite a feat. That is 250 different PBR events across the country, and we have been voted #1 for 8 years in a row. So that's very special to us. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Inian, and thanks for all that outlaw events do to make Big Sky better together. Next up, we have John Zirkle with Warren Miller Performing Arts Center, a nonprofit that is governed by a board of directors of 8. Since it opened on March 12, 2013, the Warren Miller Performing Arts Center has hosted over 250 productions in Big Sky. Situated on the campus of the Big Sky School District, Wampac is a vibrant creative ecosystem for performers and audiences, from a vibrant array of backgrounds, experiences, and geographies. With that, I'll turn it over to John.
Thank you, Danny, and thanks everybody for hanging in there. This is awesome. I was kind of thinking everything goes so fast. It's kind of like the social scroll that it's really interesting knowing what's coming up. So, hi, I'm John. I run the WAMPAC. I'm the guy who comes out on stage, and I'm really excited to share some boring numbers that I find to be really exciting about the arts. Our big message this year is see a show. See a show in Big Sky. So make sure wherever you go, make sure you go out and support the arts, support artists. It's been a really tough 19 months. 557 million seats unfilled in America between March of 2020 and July of 2021. WAMPAC did manage to serve more people this last year and a half than we've ever served before, thanks to some quick virtual pivots, but you can see that the background that we were working on, getting people back in the theater, tough time right now. Before the pandemic happened, some numbers that people don't know is that the arts and culture sector of the economy was nearly $1 trillion. That's more than construction, nationally speaking, and we want to get back to that. The numbers haven't come out yet for 2020 and 2021, but we're pretty sure that they're going to be a little bit smaller than $1 trillion. We're hoping that in 2022, we can get back to that. And a big thing, a study came out from Indiana University this last year, is that when you go out and see a show and when you participate in the arts, economic recovery actually accelerates. Thrilling study from Indiana University that we won't go over now, but it's something to think about. And really what's important is just look at this face. Look at Shannon here. She's there in WAMPAC. What is she thinking? She's going, oh man, I'm so glad I came out here tonight. I didn't exactly know what I was going to get, but I'm really having a nice time. And I know that after this, we're going to go out for drinks. After this, we're going to go down to Standard, or we're going to go to BIWAM, and we're going to talk about the show we just saw, and we're going to get 3 or 4 drinks. And then tomorrow, we're going to talk about it more, and then we might go to a show again next week. Maybe I'll bring somebody else next time. Do you see where I'm going with this? When we go out and see a show, we support the entire community. And that's what I want you all to do this year, is to make sure that you go and see a show. Here's the cool, so here it is, the winter season. We haven't announced this officially yet, but I'm going to rock through it real quick. We're currently in our fall season. This is, Nella was here on Saturday, did a great bilingual show in Spanish. Arthur Trace is coming on November 6th. That's a guaranteed win. Magicians, we love magicians. And then we have a really great winter season coming out. Packages go on sale November 15th. So street dance and ballet on the same stage throughout the season. We're doing In a Landscape again. If anyone was out there, it took me a really long time to convince them to come back. They had a great time, but if you remember, the pianist's fingers were cold. For those of you who weren't able to make it, we put a piano out on the driving range, groomed a cross-country ski course around it, and you could ski around and walk around with headphones and listen to a classical piano concert, and it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. By the way, that was the first time that it ever happened. It goes fast, doesn't it? We're also bringing back our theater game called Beyond the Fourth Wall. You can bring small groups into the theater. You have WAMPAC to yourself. The twist this year is you're going to be competing against each other. So we're trying to figure out how to make sports and arts come together. We know that it's going to be one of the most fun events of the season. This is Roy Wood Jr. He's one of the funniest guys I've ever seen. We have the Second City coming back from Chicago. We have a cappella from Zimbabwe. And more, which is going to be really amazing. Those tickets go on sale November 15th. I want you to come see a show. And the last thing I wanted to talk about that we don't really get to talk about very much is what public-private partnership means for WAMPAC. And that's our special relationship with the school. So the school owns the facility, we operate the facility, and from just a straight-up business standpoint, this makes our costs very efficient. We're able to share in the cleaning of the facility, the utilities of the facility, which means that it opens up opportunities for us to bring out really high quality artists. Sometimes people say, oh my gosh, how did they do that? How do we get these incredible artists to come all the way out to Big Sky? Part of that is because of our relationship with the school. And one of the amazing byproducts of that is that we have a beautiful organic relationship with the students of the Big Sky School District. Here we have, you might have come into WAMPAC before and you've seen students there who are welcoming you, checking your name off the list. What's really great about that is we give high schoolers volunteer hours. Then we don't have to convince them that they need to sit in a room full of adults. They get to sit on the stairs, but they get world-class arts offerings, which is an amazing experience for these high schoolers. By the time they graduate, they might see 50 or 60 shows, Grammy winners, and that might influence them to have a cultured life, which we really love. And boom, that's it. Thank you very much.